What's going on? I'm right with you, bro. Where's mine? Right here. Hold on. Welcome to the late night. Welcome to Late Night with Ty.
How's it going? I usually chime in on some of your stuff, like on YouTube, or like, I'm always the guy that has like the Ronin 2 and all the gear and all that. I started a long time ago, a long time when I had Panasonic over the shoulder, and I came from Hollywood, and I worked on like Inception and Transformers, and then I just.
In the Army, we call them BFCs, big cameras. That was the name of it.
Yeah, so I started off at that, but I worked on big movies, and then I worked in post-production in Burbank in Hollywood. So, I've done it for a long time, and now I'm in Vegas, and now my niche, you always ask, is weddings. I focus more on weddings than anything, because weddings is a consistent amount in Vegas. We're like #1 in weddings. So I do about 70 weddings a year by myself. Wow. I usually, so I book it. Well, so it goes from them finding me, for me booking it, speaking with them on the phone, contract to down payment, to showing up, filming, editing, let them see the final, and then getting paid. So I have the same process as you, but mine is the old school way. I'm going to do DocuSign or Honeybook, one of those things, but I do it the old school way so I can actually see it.
For what you have, Honeybook would be perfect because it just automates it. Like it automatically sends out questionnaires. If they sign up on your website, hey, I want a wedding, it'll send out the questionnaire and they can fill it out, and then it'll take it to the next step.
Yeah, so I'm the one with the C500 Mark II.
Oh, that boy's pretty. I want one.
Yeah, and then I got the C100 Mark II, and then I got the Ari Alexa LF, the new one. And then I got the C300 Mark IIs right there and right there. So you hear me? I'm a Canon guy. Like I don't go for any other brand.
It's Canon Cinema. I got no beef with that. Cause you DSLRs.
So the only DSLR I've ever had was the 70D. And the 70 was cool, but then when I didn't know that after 30 minutes it cut off. So I was doing an interview and it cut off, and thank God I had 2 cameras because it cut out. I was like, oh damn. So then I just cut to that camera and then I just reset that one. But bro, nobody tells you these things when you buy it. And a lot of people think because you have a camera that you're going to be, you're going to get clients and that. That's not true. It's more than just having a camera and a lens. Dude, it has to do with like contracts, insurance, has to do with like getting a business license. Mine, I have to get one for the city of Henderson and then the Nevada one. So I got to get 2 of that. Well, I got to register both. And it gets expensive like after a while. I'm a sole proprietor. I'm not an LLC because it's more money on I have to pay like $1,200 in taxes if I do LLC. So you have to be prepared to do the taxes and spend more money. And then I sold my house last year. And I'm building a new one with a big studio. The studio I'm going to build is going to be like a green screen / like an editing bay like I have right here.
Infinity Wall?
It's going to be in the back of that. No, it's going to be a back house that we're building. Okay. They're called studio sheds.
Okay. I never heard of them. I'm going to Google that.
Yeah, just do studio sheds, and they come with a bathroom, so your clients can use the bathroom, and then they have the main area and a kitchen. If you just do studio sheds, but I've been a fan of you. I haven't purchased any of the gold or anything because most of the stuff that you do, I've been through and I've done. I've been doing it for 20 years. I went to Canada Film School for visual effects, and then I went to Hollywood, and then. I only went for visual effects. I didn't go for how to shoot a camera or anything. I learned at Paramount and Universal. So the main guys that were actually holding the cameras is the ones that I sat in and they're like, hey bro, put on the vest. So I would put on the vest.
Just play with toys. If you love it, it's just
So all the stuff you say, it is very, very important because one thing is the contracts. Proposals is another amazing thing. I just do contracts. I don't do proposals because for weddings, most of my people don't even meet me. To be honest with you, they book me online, and I show up on that day, and it's called run and gun. Just shoot.
So they see your website, they love what you do, they feel confident about what you do, and they just pay the money. When you have a dope website, when you have a dope website and a dope reel, that's how easy it is.
Right. So I'm considered a cinematic filmmaker. So mine looks more of a movie. Now, if you look at some of my stuff on my Instagram, all of it's usually slow motion with dramatic music. So that's what sells right now in Vegas is the slow motion. So it makes it so dramatic. But now these kids are just, what they're doing is they're taking the wedding stuff and they're putting stupid transitions on them, like those weird ass transitions, and they're like beating up the. Yeah, it's like this ain't a music video. Like so it's like, so like for me, I do a lot of marketing. I do a lot of like, you know, I do Google AdSense, I do retargeting, I do Facebook, I do Instagram, and then I have the ones where the pixels follow them. It's just retargeting, and my ads. Yeah, my ads just keep showing up until they click on it again.
Once they visit, let me just explain that for people who are watching. So what retargeting is once they visit your website, they're bombarded with more advertising from your website. So once they know about you, you just, everywhere they go, they're reminded, hey, and what's dope about that is people go to websites like CNN and like big websites, and they're like, dang, I'm still getting marketing from this video guy. It must be legit because I go to CNN and ESPN and now you see the company. Yeah, I did a lot of marketing out in Las Vegas for corporate event photography. We did a whole lot of corporate event photography out there. You guys get conferences like crazy.
Yeah. So for me, difference than you is I don't have a set budget, and I just run differently. For instance, it depends on the date and it depends on what kind of event it is, because I can't say to a corporate person, and I do corporate stuff, I can't say, corporate dude, it's going to cost $1,500, right? Because you're killing yourself doing that. I usually say, what's your budget? Because sometimes I get them where like my budget's $10,000, so I'm like, I'll do it for $8,000. And to me, just me, not you, is I lower it sometimes. Doesn't mean I'm lowering the standards of my company, but there's times during the year where you don't have anything. So it's like, I'd rather not lose a deal, right? Everybody's different. And some people stick to the budget. This is what it costs. But I found that I lose a lot of people, because if I start putting prices, they'll go to my site or they'll go to his site. But what I do is when they contact me, I win them through my, my confidence, my enthusiasm. They love that, so they book me. If I get them on the phone, most times I will close the deal. Like we'll say, out of 5 people, I'll close 4 of them because of my personality. You're the same. So last year I made about $400,000. That was return on investment. I invested about 550 and I made 400 back. So 150 of it was for advertising. It was for like gear. It was for like, I was hiring other people because I sometimes overbooked and I couldn't do it because I'm a one-man band. So even a guy like me made money. Anybody can make money as long as you have a plan, right? From how you're going to do it, because I started with nothing. At that time, bro, there was no websites, really. There was nothing. It's like the AOL was like, and
you have mail.
And then your sister will pick up the phone and then you'd be knocked off. So it's like, So I came from that era, right? And I'm 38 now, but I started when I was 18 after high school. So if I could do it, anybody could do it. You just have to be passionate. The only problem is for me hiring somebody is they're not going to be as passionate as me and you, Ty. They're there for a check, so they're not gonna put their heart and soul in anything. They just want to shoot and get their check.
I'm gonna tell you what type of people to go after, right? Go after people who want to go into business doing this, who's hungry to do their own thing, and they will put their passion into your brand until they graduate off into their. For me, that's what I found, right? Because I get people who really want to do this and they really want to start. I'm gonna show you, for working with me, not only are you gonna get paid, but I'm gonna teach you how to build yours, right? It's like a franchisee. Right, you're gonna kind of get as a franchisee from my brand that you can call and do whatever you want. But I'm gonna bring you in and train you like a store manager that's getting ready to go run your stuff. That way, they'll give you everything, and in exchange, you feel great about helping them learn what they need to learn to go off and do their own thing. You can't worry about, are they gonna steal your way? They're gonna steal it. It doesn't work like that. They're going to go off and they may be super transition guy. You may not be super transition guy. But that's, for me, that's work, when I brought people in who I wanted to have that passion.
Right. And what I like about you is you're actually a filmmaker, and you show that. Now, there's a lot of guys on YouTube that are not filmmakers, but they just get the gear and they don't do it. They just do it for clout, for like YouTube like views, and they monetize it so they can get paid. So, you know, I don't do the YouTube where I'm speaking. I want to, but I want to do it where it's actually free, where nobody really has to pay, from the very beginning of how to talk to them, how to find it, all the way to the end. But there's these guys that just go on there. Oh, look, I got the new whatever. You know, I got the Canon C300 Mark III that just came out. But they don't have anything. They don't have no skills. They just do it. Bro.
Trust me, I see tons. Bro, they'll be the ones that. What killed me is when they do a review and they be like, is this right for you, or is this better than that? And they never give you an answer. They're like, well, it depends. Like, we're reviewing a 60D to a red Epic. You're gonna tell me it depends on that red? It's nothing even just like that red is running circles around it. If you got 60,000 in the bank, get this.
It's like those dudes that buy the new MacBook, the Mac Pro, right? And they max it out, spend 50 G's, but they only check emails with it. Only emails.
I call them Facebook machines. I call them $50,000 Facebook machines.
It's like we understand you're making money. We understand that you have 5 million subscribers and you're making $25,000 a month. We understand that, but you're not a filmmaker. You're nothing. All you do is you put these headings on there with a thumbnail where you're like, you believe it and you click on it. So it's like clickbait, and I hate that. Like it's trash. So. Bro, I've worked with so many people, same as you. I work with Chris Brown, Little Dicky, Oprah, Trump. I work for all of them, and it's like, it's fun and all, but I still like weddings because I have a better connection. I hated weddings. It was the worst thing I ever did because I almost messed up, and you only have that one take, but I just started doing more and more and more and more, and now. But right now it's slow. So what I'm doing these days is I'm still doing like the interview stuff. I'm still doing corporate stuff. And those vary. I mean, I've had corporate jobs for like $40,000, but after like me I had to pay for permits. I still make a good amount of money, but I still had to pay $10,000 in like a lot of things because they were specific on the camera, right? Or the lenses. Like, they needed all that. So I got it, but what I found out is on those big deals, if I needed a camera, like if I wanted a C100, I would put the $3,000 into the price, so I would just buy it from that. So I would do that. So I would never finance.
I learned that shooting a commercial for Ford that wanted Canons, and I'm like, I got Sonys and black. Oh yeah, we got a Canon. It's gonna be an extra $12,000. They were like, sure. I was like, all right.
Yeah. So people don't understand that corporate companies have tons of money, and yes, you're right. They already so in their budget they already know they're going to throw away $150 on advertising because their return is larger than that. So when you say 10 grand and that's low, on the low end, they're like, hell yeah, sign up here. Tell me where, bro.
Can I get 2? Sure.
Yeah. And I've done a thing for Apple, and I was like, it's like 50 grand. They said, that's it. It's like, yeah, that's it.
Yo, my favorite thing is to hear that's it. Like, but wait, there's more. I love it when a client be like, that's it.
Yeah, or like sometimes weddings, like you can't charge a lot, for weddings, not as much. There's guys that are charging like 10 grand, but they give crap, like, right? So people don't understand, like, what is the difference in $10,000 or $5,000? Not really much, except maybe hours or a certain thing. But the edits are usually the same. Like, you edit like a trailer the same way that you would if someone spent tons of money. They're just willing to pay more money, right? So for me, instead of me saying $2 grand, I say, well, what's your budget? What were you thinking? And most times it's usually higher than what I'm thinking. So then you can make that extra leverage. Sometimes it's lower, and you're like, all right, I'll do this because I want to earn your business and all that. So, it varies from like, from corporate to like, to weddings to like anything. I've done almost everything from boudoir to everything that you do. The only thing I don't do is photography. Like, I'm good, but I'm not the best. Right. So, but I'm never going to get into photos because my main thing is filming. And I came from that film background.
You can definitely eat off. You can eat like crazy off
Yeah. And I saved up from last year, so these times right now, I'm good. I can pay my rent. I have extra money. I'm doing little gigs. My weddings just got pushed back. I think 21 weddings got pushed back, and I didn't lose one of them. So that was a good thing, right? The only thing that I need to worry about right now is healthcare insurance, because I had a regular job and I got canned after 9 years because it was slow. So, oh, this is what I need to tell people. I'm sorry. If you have a small business like sole proprietor or LLC, they are still offering the $10,000 PPP, the 3 Ps, and it's forgivable. And a lot of people still, Wells Fargo is still doing it, and I applied, and they gave me 14 grand. So they based it on certain criterias. But do that, please, because they're still open to giving that. They stopped giving the ones that if you had employees and you started paying your employees, then they ran out of that money. It was like 400 million or something, and that went up in like 2 days. Now they're doing sole proprietor, self-employed. You're just by yourself, and they're still giving money. And I think they have let me see here. I think they have about $150 million still in that fund. So apply for it. They're going to ask for your 1099 or Section C or whatever you do at the end of the year. You just need to submit that. If you don't have last year's, you can do the last 2 years before that if you haven't done your taxes yet. And you can apply just online. You don't have to go to a CPA. It is important to get a CPA, because if you do your taxes yourself and you do a long form, you're going to F up. So you need somebody to do it professionally. It's worth paying it. In my case, I have to pay. So I pay at the end of the year, but I don't pay too much, because I don't get taxed on service in Nevada. I get paid from giving a good to somebody. So like a USB, if I gave somebody a USB or a DVD, then I have to pay tax on that.
Yep.
So I stopped doing the USBs, and what I did is I did Dropbox or WeTransfer, and then I just transfer everything online so they can download it. And yes, nobody knows 4K or 6K. Layoff is 1080. 1080 is 1080.
Yep, I told you. Real quick, I want to answer Brian I's official. So listen, and this is a good opportunity for you to see two perspectives of set price and asking a budget. So my set price is usually really high, right? It's usually what I want to get away with. And if they say, oh, it's out of my budget, that opens the door for me to say, so what is your budget? You know what? We got a promotion going on. We got a Corona discount. We're going to do it for within your budget. And we definitely got you. That way they feel like they're getting a $50,000 video for $8,099. So if you can go in either way. If they don't want to give you their budget, shoot a high price. Shoot what you want for doing it. And then let them tell you, that's out of our budget. Okay, well, what is your budget? Because let us see what we can give you. Because give me the opportunity to see what I can provide you within your budget. And it's a great way to work them back down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People don't know.
And there is something that's too low. If it's too low and it's not worth you doing the hassle of getting there, filming, hiring, and don't do it. Don't kill yourself. Over a couple $100, right? It doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
That's right. And look at their company. You can look up some information about their company and what their company is worth. People is hard to do, but if you're working with a Fortune 500 company, come on, they got bread. They just
no.
What they want.
Even small businesses have money because they need that fund. They need those funds because they're still growing. So they're making money. If they weren't making money, they couldn't pay the $5,000 in that little spot, at the corner market where Walmart is. It costs bread to be in that corner. So they got some money. They just don't want to spend it with you if you don't present it right.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see what is the max dollar amount you can be. I think the max dollar amount is like $6 million a year to still be a small business. It is. I'll actually tell you what that is. I think it's like 5.2 million or something like that. And even if you made 4 million, you're still considered as very small business, right? It's it's small. Or when people say, what's the small budget for a small feature film? Well, the cheapest, usually about $1 million, right? If you say 500 or less than that, that's considered lower than lower budget, right?
And those are usually the ones that are indie, or you get crowdfunding, you get your mom and dad to pitch in a couple $100. But
credit cards.
But here's the thing though. Doesn't matter of anything. I think marketing would be #1 for anything, because you could be the best film, the best editor in the world, but if nobody knows who you are, you ain't nothing. You ain't making no money.
Exactly.
Nothing, just trash. It's like you need a market, and marketing deals with a lot of things. That means shirt marketing, wearing your brand, if it's a hat, if it's shoes, socks, I mean, business cards. Well, I stopped the business card thing, but I did the business card. I spent tons of money making it all pretty nice, gave it to people, and they drop it, lose it. So when I go to these weddings, I have a polo that has my company in the back. It says, it has my website. It says, if you want to book me, here's my, and it happens, people book it, like, because they're like, this dude is dope.
Because you know what? Because while you're taking pictures and they're using their big iPad, they got your back in the picture, and they look at the pictures, and then they know where to go.
There's nothing wrong with having business cards. That's more like higher end, like corporate stuff, because they'll take the business card. Yep. But when it comes to like, and another thing, I don't really deal. Hold on, am I there? Hold on. Am I there?
I see you.
I don't do the music. I don't do lower music videos. Like, dudes be hitting me up. What's the lowest it costs? Well, it could probably be 10,000 lower budget, because some people be hitting me up and saying, "Oh, I got $500. Let's get this done." I'm like, no. I'm not killing. Look.
But real quick,
yeah,
I want to touch on the fact that just the people who are watching, and just to hear how things work specifically, you see how his niche, he found out, hey, business cards ain't it, shirts is it. It's so important that you understand what your client wants and who your client is, and how to, and it's taking you, how long would you say it's taking you to like figure that out, to be like, okay, now that I know,
like 5 years. Because it's different for everybody, right? You try to do what everybody does, like the business card or like big ass brochures, but then you waste your money, and then all the brochures are sitting right there on the counter, right there, ain't doing nothing. It's like gathering dust.
That's why it's important to know who your audience is, who your niche is.
Correct.
You know what to do.
Yeah. So everybody's different. You figure this out over and over again. When I started, I didn't have money. Like, I didn't get a loan or anything. I had to ask some homies, hey, there's nothing wrong with doing something for free, but maybe just a couple of them, and stop it after that. Because you're not going to show a wedding couple a music video. You got to do a wedding for them, at least one or two, because if you show them one, that's all you did is one. You have one.
Yep.
So it's like, you want to look legit, but you need to have a couple of them. It doesn't matter if it's music videos, weddings, corporate, anything. You need to have a couple of them. And there's nothing wrong with doing, or charging a couple $100. If you never done it before and you need the money, back then $300 was a lot of money. Doing the extra stuff when you had no money. Dude, when I saw $300, boy, I screamed. Like, I went to the buffet. I was like, should we get this? But the thing, Ty, is you start getting a passion for it, and you love the adrenaline. You love catching those people where they want something done, and you can get what you're asking for, because eventually someone's gonna say yes to 10 grand.
Yep.
Someone's going to say it, because there's dudes that are making triple, quadruple of what you're getting paid, and they're getting it like this because they asked for it. If you don't ask, you don't get nothing. Like,
you will not get it. Yep.
You won't
Build
get
your
it
brand to look like you deserve it, and ask for it.
So imagine if corporate said, our budget's like 30 grand, but we won't tell him. Let's see what he says. And you're like 2 grand. You just lost $28,000 because
you just lost the car. You just a car and a camera.
Hey, I've done it. Hey, I'm not going to be afraid. I've said it plenty of times where I lost tons of money, but I got the experience, and now I know I'm going to hit them high, and then we're going to work it out.
Because you can't go up. You can't go up. Once you say that price, you can come down, but you cannot climb back up.
Nope, not even if you try to add stuff to it. It's like you can get a little bit, but you can't get a couple thousand out of that. It's like, dude. Like, nah, dude, like, and and then to get those big gigs, most times most of us won't get them. They usually go to the contractor guys, right? Or they go to the guys that they already know or are big in the business. Now, for them to hire you, you got to know them, and it's the connection more than anything.
And real quick, remember I tell you guys about being a preferred vendor. Once you get in the door and you become their preferred vendor, they're going to call you first for everything. But you got to earn that relationship. You got to get in the door and be their guy. And you may have to take some L's a little bit to earn that. You know what I'm saying? You may have to take a few L's to get there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you're gonna get a lot of L's to be real, because it's same goes for like singers. They have a song and they pitch it, they get 20 no's, but there's that one company that will say yes, and then that's the one you go. And don't be heartbroken if they say no. I understand you need to feed your family, but you have to stand up for yourself at some point where it's like, I am worth this. I am worth $5,000 for this video. I am worth it. And then they're like, well, how are you worth it? Well, I put 30 years invested in what I do. I have the gear to support all my work, like all the things that I do. You know, my main thing is sense of urgency. If you don't have a sense of urgency, you can just leave the room right now. You could just, see that X right there? They can press X right there. And if you don't have sense of see that X right there? You better push it. Because here's the thing: if you don't have sense of urgency, like if a client hits you up on an email, you better be sure you better hit that dude up in the next like couple minutes. Like, don't wait a day to reply back.
That's what I like about Proposify, is because I can see when they're looking at it. I can call them like, "Oh, you're looking at it right now. Hey, let's get right to it."
Someone asked me, what's the most I ever charged for a wedding? I'll tell you. To be honest, like no bull. I charged Kim Kardashian's first wedding $15,000 for just the cinematic trailer of 3 to 4 minutes.
You said her first wedding. Which one? Who was that? What guy was that?
It was that big basketball. What's his name?
I know you're talking about. Okay, yeah. I know you're talking about Kevin, Chris, one of them guys.
Yeah. So we were there like 6 hours, and there was 8 videographers. I was the cinematic one. There was one for just floral, and there was one for interviews, just to interview people at the wedding.
You said it was one for floral?
There's a guy who was just filming all the floral of the place. There was one that was just doing interviews, that was just people asking questions. There was another one that was doing a documentary. So, dude, there was so many of us that we were like this, like when we were like going and like filming, bro. And I have the easy. Yeah.
Real quick, so because you got in with Kim Kardashian, and she has a lot of weddings, he is now her preferred vendor for all of her weddings. He's on the list.
Well, except for the last, right, except for the last one with Kanye, because they went with one of his friends. So like, you know, they'll think of me maybe down the line for something, but you know, it just
wedding soon.
What's up?
She'll have another wedding soon.
Oh yeah. She'll get married like 3 or 4 times.
Call me to be the floral guy. I'll bring a drone in to get all the floral slow.
Well,
when the propellers move the flowers, I'll capture in slow motion, and then like.
So somebody asked me, how do I get connected? So I got connected because I work in Hollywood. So I do stuff here and I do stuff there. So one of the agents that I've done like dailies. So what dailies are is like for like Family Guy, Cleveland Show, American Dad, is the dailies that play during the week. So we would do the editing. One of the producers there knew them, and they showed up because they were doing their reality show, and that's how I got connected. It's who you know. It's not. They don't just look online and say, "Well, I need a videographer." They just go with the people that they know that specializes in whatever they're interested in, because they don't call a guy that did the. Okay, so they don't call the production company, you know, that filmed their show to do weddings. They just ask, you know, somebody that does weddings, and that's how you get connected, is who you know. It's not where they find you online. It's different that way, right? So it's just who you know in the business, and you just grow from there, right? You just and the only reason why I did Jackie Jackson's I started doing their stuff is Michael Jackson's brother in the Jackson 5 is their 2 kids are in my daughter's school. They're in the same private school class, and because of that, I got to shoot some of their music videos. So It's who you know and who you who you get that relationship with. And yes, you can have the best stuff, but if there's no connection, if they don't know you, they're not going to choose you. That rarely happens in the business. Yep. Ty, you even know this. It's like who you know. It's like, and it's, yes, marketing and stuff helps, and having a website, yes, that helps. You don't want to, if you're broke, to be honest with you, you can go to Wix to do it. But when people go to that site, they got that big Wix in your name, and they're like, well, he doesn't have an actual real website because you're going through Wix. So it's like you need to start off that, save a little bread, and then just get a website, and do WordPress if you can't hire somebody to do it, and just lay it out, right? You don't have to have tons of money. You don't. Like, you start from the basics. Oh, and the next question people are going to ask is, well, does the camera depend on a lot of things? Yes and no, right? The camera that's good for you is the one you're using now, unless you have an iPhone. Now, I don't recommend you doing big gigs with an iPhone, but I've seen dudes.
And you may get clients that says, "Hey, I need this type of camera because we shot stuff over here and we want to match that footage." Okay, cool. Rent it, or you got it, or you add the price to buy it.
Right.
Whatever you got to do.
Right. And so then what you need to do is, if you don't know how to use the camera, is you look it up online on YouTube. It's free, or you rent it one day earlier and practice with it the day before.
I cannot tell you how many times I've rented a camera 2 days early and just went out and shot.
Right, and you don't know anything.
Like a creeper. Shooting kids at the park like a creeper. Like, who is this guy in this van shooting kids? But I'm trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, this guy's 911. We got this big guy out here.
Okay, so correct. So if you have a big camera, I have an easy rig and all that, and then I have the Ronin too. So if you're out in public, you will get stopped. I get stopped 1,000 times because of all the gear. You can't film. Now, that's why people are recording on like their iPhones and a lot of memes and all that, because nobody's getting hassled on the iPhone. It's like,
or Osmo Pocket.
Yeah, well, I had the Osmo Raw. That's the first cool I had. But the problem is,
I like the Raw.
Yeah, but the problem when I had with the Raw is you got the newer one where they're way smaller.
It's so little. Nobody see me 4K 60. Not even the phone. Like, people notice your phone. They don't even notice this. I'm just there like this.
Yeah. The only problem I don't like about that one is it's not good at low light.
Right. It's not the best.
Yeah, but that's why if you have something like that, make sure you schedule it during the day, just not nighttime, right?
Yep.
We understand that not everybody has tons of money for a camera. We know this. Yep. So what I would recommend is, if you're gonna start doing that, budget a little bit every single time. If you're doing a project for 300, keep 100 of it, and keep doing that until you have a camera that you want. You don't need to spend $10,000 on a camera. You're not on that level. Start off at maybe a DSLR like everybody else, a 70D, 80D, any of those. If you go buy
a used C100 Mark I right now,
you could
kill a game.
Yeah, dude. So this C100 Mark II, I beat the hell out of it. But look at the condition. It's it still functions. It
still does it.
Dude, dude, for your money, do it. And this is going to go down anyways, probably another 1,000 or 2 when the C300 Mark III comes out. Or they're going to make a 3 in this.
Yeah. C100 Mark III is where the rumors are saying.
Oh yeah, that's where everybody's gonna jump on the wagon, because that's gonna have the 4K. So it's people gonna jump to that instead of the C200, because C200 is $6,000. That's a big chunk of change for a lot of people. They're like, damn, 6,000? That's a car. That's a '92 Civic. So nobody. No, for me, this hold on. This camera that I use now a lot, and it's legit, is the C500, and that works. It works. And then when I have bigger project, I get the Alexa F, and that thing's too big. That's just bulky stuff. But you use that for like tripod stuff or Dana dollies. You don't use those. You don't really use them on like anything else. Those are bigger productions. And then those have the bigger files. So don't go out. Everybody said, "Oh, I want the Arri Alexa," but if you don't have clients, don't buy it. If nobody's gonna pay for that, don't buy it.
Yep.
Dude, don't spend 50 G's Because you think your shit's gonna be better. If you don't know how to color, if you don't know how to, if you don't know how to color grade, I use DaVinci Resolve, but if you don't know how to do that, don't buy it, because that is just when you're on that type of level. When you're on that type of level, then you buy that. But a lot of people like, oh, I want to get the new whatever. Dude, there's so many cameras right now, bro.
They think gear before they think how to make the money with the gear, and that's the problem.
Yeah. People like, everybody's into like 6K, 8K, 6K. Okay, but nobody's gonna see 8K. Like, the only way you're gonna see 8K is if you upload 8K and you're going through Chrome and you're on YouTube, and then you can see 8K. But nobody's gonna be on Chrome looking at 8K videos.
If your monitor supports it and your connection supports it, and you're still gonna get a compressed version of 8K through YouTube.
Even my computer, like the Mac Pro, it's fast, but I really don't have that many clients that are asking for RELX and proxy, like doing proxy. They're too much work. I'm not gonna put that much time in that. And if you're a gearhead and you only buy gear just to have it, stop it. Save your money, because there's going to be times when you're going to need marketing, or you need to, you need to advance in something, learning, or maybe ties classes. Save your money for these things, because these you won't forget. But the cameras you'll forget, because 10 years from now that camera's obsolete. Yep,
that happens when that happens when you marry the body, and you should only date the body, marry the lenses. You got that? Date the body, marry the lenses. Somebody had a question about pricing clients on subscription-based bulk. So I usually do 20% off. I'll give you a price, but you gotta sign a contract, because I don't want to give you 20% off. You do one video and I don't hear from you again. I got a subscription contract to make sure that doesn't happen, but I do 20. That's just me. Especially during times like now, we can spread it out over a few months and then get that 20% off. What you about to say?
No, you're right. That you're absolutely, and make sure that you get a down payment that's non-refundable, because that just means that they're locked down to you, and they're not gonna go somewhere else, and that's where some of that money is. They want to invest a little bit in you. They're not gonna go somewhere else, because they know if you give them $500, you're going to stay with them for the $500, right?
Clients who are not invested, they're not. They're just like, oh, maybe we should. No, client who pay money is like, I'm going with you. We doing it. Clients who don't invest a lot tend to look. Maybe I should skate here. Maybe I should skate there. No, bro. It's just like revisions, right? When you start putting the price tag on, okay, you get 2 revisions. The third one you're paying for, I guarantee you they don't come to you with all that dumb stuff. What if the shirt was a little bit bluer? What do you think? Let's do that. I'm charging you for that. But never mind.
I always have problems. The people that pay me nothing, and they want everything in the world. Those are the people that complain. And those are the headache people
that pay you nothing that want everything.
Correct.
It's usually the people that you give the hookup to that want the world.
Right. Oh, and going back to the contract stuff for the down payment is, if you do the down payment, you will always have money. You will always have money, because you'll have money in your hands every single time, like every time they give you. And if you do payment plans, there are people that do it, you'll always have money. They'll pay. And then if you have a subscription, or you have a monthly thing, then you're always getting paid. You're always getting, and then there's reminders on the programs that you use that tell them your payment is due. Your payment, you don't got to call them.
You're welcome.
You don't, because that's not our job. Our job is to film it, make the client happy, and give them the end result. You're not there to baby them and say like, you need to make your payment. That's not our job. That's why you pay this amount of money for that to do that. So it's like you consistently do that.
I tell people all the time, the biggest, the $50,000 clients are the ones that's like, here, call me when you're done. The ones who pay $2,000, they're like, can I see that shot? Can we look at that?
Hey, you know what I call those people that pay $50,000? Lay downs, because they just lay down.
They just lay down. You're the expert. Here's the biggest check.
And they tell you this. And they tell you this.
What you need.
Yeah, this is what they say. We hired you because you're the expert, and make sure you look like an expert. Because they go to you because you're the professional. So what they say is, this is what we want. Do it. We don't want to interrupt. We see your work. We know, we trust you, and that we do our job. And then if there's a fix at the end where it needs a revision, okay, revision done. But those are the ones that never give you problems. They never give you issues.
Never. I love that.
And then those are the happy ones that always come back to you. Those are the people that you want, and those are the people that when a holiday comes up, you want to send a card to them or acknowledge them. Because if you send them a card, they're like, he already did a video for you, but he told, Dan, you remember my birthday, or something, right, dude? That or
the ones you go out of the way for.
Yeah, because I ask them questions like, "What's your favorite sport?" or something. You know, you have these connections, and they're like, I like the Raiders. So then every year I buy them a little Raiders figurine or something where they don't know, and I send it to them, and they're like, we're gonna hire you again because you care. You think of us during the year, not just for money, because you're also cool and friendly. So
we're gonna find ways to hire you more. We're gonna come up with videos to hire. I get them clients. We're gonna come up with a reason to film something just to have you. Hey, my uncle got a video. We're gonna pay for it out of our budget, but we're gonna sell it. I was like,
okay, here's the other thing. Yeah, you can't think of these people as just $100 or $1,000. You can't, because later down the line they're going to refer or they're going to use you again. So never think of them as money. Think of them as like your client, and you become friends with them. Just think of it as a future relationship. Yeah. Because I said I want to build a relationship. Don't think of it as $100 or $50, because
if you focus on the relationship, they may spend $200,000 in their lifetime with you. They may, if you build it's like YouTube. If you focus on how much money you're making on YouTube, you're not gonna make money. But if you build something that's based off your passion, and you can talk about it, and you love it, and you can do videos every day, the money will come.
Right.
But if you develop the relationship, that's what it's about. Building your relationship. I just posted something not too long ago about starting a business. It's about building a relationship. And that's why I tell people, you offer that solution and you have that relationship, they're going to cut the check. Don't worry about the check. They're going to cut the check. Build that relationship. Right.
Correct. So, and you want to make sure that you're always on top of those clients that you want to make sure that all their answers are answered, and they're the ones that feed you most of the time, because they're the ones that come over and over and over again. Just do your job. Make sure you jump on it. Sense of urgency is, for me, the main thing, and just make sure you handle them first, right? Handle everybody like that, but just remember, and a lot of people don't tell you can even say this, is like, okay, you're doing videos and you're making, we'll say, $30,000 a year, but then at the end of the year, you have no money. A lot of people don't understand that you need to budget the money that you get on certain things. You can't just start spending. I understand you got to pay bills, but you also need to make another account to put money away, because there's going to be some trade shows that you might want to go to and you don't have the money. I advise no credit cards. Don't put shit on the credit cards, because you're going to max them out and then you're going to be stressed out like every film guy. Every month I got $5,000. I have to.
It's important that people understand that you have seasons for different types of things. So learn how to survive those seasons and prepare for those seasons. People don't spend money between like December 25th and like January, almost like February. Sometimes you can forget about it. Like you gotta, depending on what you do, but there's just seasons. You got to prepare for them seasons. It's like being a teacher. They're not getting a check in the summertime. Prepare for that. Either set up a program where they take a little bit out so you can keep getting paid during the summer, or set your own money to the side. But once you've been in business for a year, you can sit back and look and say, okay, last January I did nothing, but last April I was booming, and you start to build those patterns and you start to prepare for those seasons. I need to keep a nest egg of this amount so that I can make it, and then you'll make it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think around this time now, because people are at home, I would recommend you learning something that deals with what you do. For instance, if you want to get better at editing, just edit. Like you can just film some stuff around the house. You don't need to show people. Just like you want to learn something new, like DaVinci Resolve. If you want to learn how to color, go online and do that, because that's just when we get back to work. All the things that you learned, you're gonna make your videos even better than what they are, right? And then your deliverables be better too, because then you have something for them to give you. Like you give them something amazing, and you learn something new every single day. Oh, and another thing, Ty, that you always bring up too is like, you have to know your niche. Yes. So you can't be in every market. You can't say I do music videos. I do weddings. Yes, we do all that, but you can't when you do your ads, you have to be specific. You have to pertain to those type of people, like the age group or like what they're interested in. Like you got to find your niche. So it's like, yes, you do everything, but you need to focus more on one thing, because
you can spend $1 billion trying to reach everybody, or you can spend 1,000 hammering your ideal client and knocking it out the water. It's up to you. If you got $1 billion, you want to give Google, go for it. I'm not.
Right. So I always see in the comments down here where people are like, I don't know what my niche is. Okay, I can tell you what your niche is. So, well, not me specifically, but what do you like to do? Like, if you only like doing music videos, stick with music videos. Practice and study music videos. Go and watch Chris Brown videos. Study music, because when a dude asks you for a music video, they're going to want one like that video that they just saw yesterday. If you don't know how to do those effects, you probably won't get them, right? You probably don't, because they're going to look at your stuff like that. You said you did this, and never lie to a client too. Like, you can't say you know how to do it and you don't, because then you can lose a relationship. You know, a lot of people do that where, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, no problem. And at the very end, they look at the video like, damn, I just lost all this money.
Not only would you lose a relationship, you'll develop a bad reputation. Because when people don't like something, they tell it faster than when they like it. There's been plenty of restaurants you've been at that you liked and you didn't tell nobody, but you found one piece of hair in that one soup at that one place. You wrote 6 Yelp reviews and told everybody about it.
So yeah, so make sure that when you talk to your clients, make sure that you tell them about the review, because the review is important, because people will check reviews more than anything. And you tell them this: if you don't think I gave you 5 stars, let me know and I'll make it 5 stars. Like, we'll work it out. And then they're like, okay, I didn't like this. Okay, I'll fix it. Or I think you charge me a little bit too much. If you discount it just $100, I think we can work out a deal where I give you 5 stars, because 4 stars, 3, you ain't getting picked, because they're looking at those dudes at the 5-star level and they're like, oh, and make sure that your reviews are up to date and not fake. Don't hire somebody out of Fiverr putting fake old reviews to make you look good, because it's going to kill you in the long run, because I've seen it all the time. Just make sure if you have a client and if they never gave you a review, it's a good time to email them and ask them, you know, what did you think of my service? Could you please leave me a 5-star review? If you don't think it's 5-star, please let me know. Most times they give you 5-star, and this will just help you build your brand, build who you are, and online presence is a must, because the main one they go to is Google. They'll go to Google first out of anything and say, they see that you had 2 stars because you said you use bad language. They're not going to go to you because you cussed or something like that. So just make sure that each one of your clients, you help them as best you can, and if they're not happy, make them happy. You know, do whatever you need to do, because that just reflects off of who you are in your business. And yes, you don't go up to a client looking all bushy like I am right now to a video and say, look, you got your hat back like this, and you pull your camera out and you're like, yeah, let's shoot, let's go, let's do this. You know, unless you're very famous, like somebody really, really famous, but you're not, right? You're not.
Don't look like 10 days of quarantine when you go asking.
People going to come out of quarantine with long beards and long hair ready to shoot like I'm down.
Right. So just to recap what you said, because we get ready to, because it's coming up on an hour, but just to recap, don't be afraid. You ask for the sale. You ask for great customer service. You ask for the review. You ask for the referral. Hey, do you know anybody else who can need it? You ask, what can you do to make sure that you've offered and provided the highest level of customer service? That's something we don't talk about a lot, but we definitely need to focus on great customer service. It's very important with your business. Don't care if you get the sale and you knock the content out of the water. If they don't like working with you, you're not going to get them again. They're not going to refer you, and you can get a lot of business.
And Ty, I'm not out here trying to brag or show off that I make tons of money or I have like the best gear in the world. What I'm telling people is be professional, work hard, and you can do what I can do. I'm not a brain scientist. You know, I just understand from all the faults and all the mess ups that not to do that again, and you be good. Dude, you will get so many business as long as you're so friendly and sense of urgency is there. You're done. You can get it. You can close it. You can make tons of money, and anybody can do that. Anybody can do it. Be focused and use your brain, right? Use your brain. Don't be greedy.
So real quick, because we're getting ready to drop off. It's like 3 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's late.
I'm about to crash, and we got 15 seconds. Hey, I want to thank you for jumping on. We're going to jump on again because I feel like people learned a lot. I'm gonna find a way we can jump on YouTube live as well and do the same thing.
Yeah. If you want to do YouTube live, I'll hit you up in the message. And I know so much knowledge, the same as you, and I think we could crush it in a live.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. So everybody that's watching, I want to thank you for watching and staying up to whatever time it is, whatever country you is. Hey, much love to people that do this for a living, that get to talk to people that do this for a living. I love talking to y'all, man.
And you can do it.
I'm in Vegas a lot, bro. So
yeah. You guys can do it. Trust me, you can do it.
I'm in Vegas a lot. We're gonna hook up.
Y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. Trust me.
Listen to this guy. Hey, show him the C500. Give him a little inspiration. Definitely. Hey, I'm about to crash, but I will see y'all. We may go live tomorrow. All right, no,
I'll be on tomorrow.
Shoot me a message. Shoot me a message as soon as we get off. I'll see y'all later, all right?